Hey, and welcome to Open Division. It's the first season of 2022, and I am absolutely pumped to be back on the mic for some more Overwatch. Alongside me is Rebel. Rebel, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic today, Vincent, dude. First time casting Open Division. I'm excited. Overwatch esports finally starting to come back a little bit. We had Owl start up and all this good stuff. So I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And to be honest with you, I've had a little bit of time away. I'm excited to be back. It's going to be a good one. And we're here to start things out for the North American side. We had EMEA earlier on. I got to watch some of those matches. They were very exciting, by the way. Definitely worth the watch if you want to go back. But to start us out, we do have Soul Food and Tired
Ignore my green screen.
Adults. Uh, Soul Food Gaming and Tired Adults coming up for our first matchup. Rebel, tell me a little bit about it beyond your green screen.
Beyond my green screen. So fun fact, it was duct taped to the ceiling. Had to put it up today. We're chilling. All right. So the
Um,
first map we are headed to is going to be Elios. So I'm excited. I love Elios, good map. And composition-wise, what I think we're probably gonna end up seeing is a lot of the Rein Zarias, the Rein Diva rushes, probably Symmetra TP to go off right instantly. Gotta get as much ground as possible, get to the point first, can make control from there. And either that or maybe some double shield, but I don't know too much on
mm.
control. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot more of those rush kind of brawl stylish comps.
I think you make a good argument for a couple of different ideas. I'm gonna hold back my ideas just for a moment because to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, and I like to be surprised. It
Heck yeah.
also gonna depend on which stage of Helios we actually begin on. The well, for example, is significantly different than pretty much any other stage of this Ilios map. So, definitely excited to see kind of what that is. Tired Adults, Soul Food Gaming, not really going to have any super recognizable names on either of these two teams, unfortunately. But that's what we get here in the early stages, a time for less known players and teams to jump out and show us what they can do.
100%. And I mean, how many teams are even playing in this tournament right now? There's quite a bit. I'm sure. Around
I did
300, right?
yeah, I didn't check the game battles, but usually it's like definitely around that number, which is pretty cool, right? I mean,
Yeah.
with Overwatch 2 coming very soon, the beta already, coming through and all that kind of stuff. I was sort of expecting there to be maybe fewer teams, but I don't really think that that's been the case. It's pretty
No.
standard. So, I'm excited. We are getting ready to get into the game though, as Ilios is that first map, and well, we do get to see what these compositions are going to be looking like. And right now, some dive for Tired Adults. Seems like what they're going to be doing, and we got the Hog along with the Diva here for Soul Food Gaming. Maybe a little bit different, but I'm down for it on this well.
You know what? The plat ranked classic is what I like to call it when I see Hog Diva and Moira Mercy. But if we go right into the game, the whole teams are pretty much just off the right back. Delayed wave, kind of looking for the early pick though onto the Winston. Is going to send the hook out. Doesn't really just find anything yet. The guys are going to come in. And I mean, this is just a little bit picks here, trying to just get as much damage as possible. Get the dive out, but hey, Caller Daddy is going to be the max first. And Thage and Ashy Cat are going to get the kills to finally secure it. So Tired Adults in the lead now, pick-wise. So if they can be able to capitalize on some of these kills, they're going for a little bit longer. I mean, that Thage is kind of popping off here on this Cassidy along with Daddy. And yeah, that's probably going to be Tired Adults' point right away.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Daddy doing so much work for Tired Adults, being able to apply pressure with the Pharah, and I mean, Cam Weenus as well, doing a whole lot of work, keeping that Pharah alive and kicking as the capture, well, finally in, and on top of that, we got Tired Adults farming up some of these ultimates. Both of the DPS going to have their ults ready for this next fight, so that should be the key to opening this one up here in the second.
Yeah. I mean, no. With those ultimates in hand, Daddy's just already going to get the first kill. So it's not like they really even need to use them because they already have two picks down. The main combo of Echo Mercy has been taken down as well. So there's not really much you can do if you're Soul Food Gaming trying to go into the rest of this point. I mean, I guess you can maybe try taking out the Winston, diving in on your Roadhog, but I mean, Daddy's just in the back line doing so much damage, going onto the wire, but is going to be able to get out of their lives. But Dage uses the Deadeye, gets one kill off that, two kill now following up from Daddy, or Call Her Daddy. You know what? Sometimes these names can get a little confusing if they're a little similar, but hey, it's all fun.
yeah, nice usage there of that Deadeye. And yeah, Sage gets pretty much everything you want. And unfortunately, Soul Food Gaming really need to disengage from this fight. They keep trickling in, and this is not a recipe for success. If they continue to do that, they're just going to continue feeding ultimates, and one of which is Cam Weenus, who is popping that Valkyrie, and there's Statty going to be putting down the Rocket Barrage as well.
Oh, man. The CPS line from Tiger Golf has been popping off. And I mean, this dive works out very well. I have noticed, though, that both teams are playing Moira, which I wouldn't consider more of a common pick. I mean, especially now that we're headed back in Overwatch 1. I mean, in Overwatch 2, Moira is very good, but, like, some people consider it to not be as great. But, I mean, Daddy's just going to get taken out. Sage is going to get the pick onto Delayed Wave, follows it up there onto the Sombra, and, I mean, it's 95% on the point. Is there much that Soul Food Gaming can really do here, as Ashy Cat is going to use the Primal Rage to get the next couple kills? The Deadeye sent out to zone them off the point, and I mean, Tired Adults are just going to take the first point here on Will, 100-0.
Yeah, relatively quick and easy there for stage 1 of Ilios. The well not working in the favor of Soul Food Gaming. Tired Adults, on the other hand, I mean, it is that DPS duo, right? Yeah. Sage Daddy doing all of the work, it felt like, and whenever there was a need, we saw Cam Weenus picking up a whole lot of a success when it came to the Mercy and keeping Daddy healthy on the Pharah. So pretty much everything working well. We'll just be headed in towards stage 2, though, and be seeing what is there as we head in. It's looking to me like it's much the same for Tired Adults. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of Soul Food Gaming keeping this exact same sort of composition. Tosin Plays is going for a Junkrat. That's a bit different, but otherwise, it's pretty much the same on that tank and support line.
I mean, I guess if you want to use the Junkrat just to sort of, you know, have less of a dive target, because if you get dove on as a Junkrat, you can get punished pretty easily. Those mines do a lot of damage, and the traps as well, but not really going to matter if you get taken out in the first 3 seconds of the game. And Daddy is going to get the first kill there. The D.Va will be demech delayed by out of Mexo. They're doing a lot here on this hit scan roll. I'll be honest with you. This Cassidy that they pulled out has just been really good. Along with Daddy, these DPS have been doing a lot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, well, one of the biggest problems, I think, for Soul Food is that they haven't really been cleanly engaging. It's been a constant fight. And even now, down 3 players that are respawning, Tosin's still taking tools, trying to, sure, farm out some ultimate, but realistically, that's just not going to be a super effective strategy. Now, Tosin does pick up the Cassidy, so Thage going down. That's one of those big heavy hitters that we've been talking about, but it's 1 for 2. Those aren't good numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I don't know what you can really do here. I mean, you're just constantly getting staggered. They switch over to the Orisa, though. I don't mind this at all. Orisa D.Va can work out pretty well along with the Ana, but the Ana's just taken out immediately, though, and Thage gets 2 kills with it. I mean, this guy can't be stopped right now.
No.
They have just been constantly getting these kills. They're getting away with it. They have a mercy pocket on them. And there's just not much you can really do with that.
Well, and listen, delayed wave swapping over to this Orisa, sure, it ain't bad. It's a decent idea, but unfortunately, you have to get into position to utilize it, and that position would be on that high ground, but Tired Adults aren't allowing for Soul Food to get into that high ground position at all.
Ooh, Flash fan. No, you know what? I'm going to miss that combo. I know people hate it, but I love it. Flash fan, I mean, it gets me kills, it gets me SR sometimes. But I mean,
Listen. It will always be known as the big right click for me. I'm just saying it will, and I gotta say it is always a lot of fun. just fan the hammer all the way through, and then here we go. Soul Food, pretty much last chance here as they push forward. Tosin gonna lose their life as well right off the rip.
The self-destruct comes out from delayed 5, and it's not going to do much. The Stage is just going to get constantly just getting more and more kills. Gets the 3rd kill at the end and completely denies them as Tired Adults take Ilios 200-0.
Yeah, that's the point I was just about to make. There was at no point a position where Soul Food Gaming were in the spot to actually take a tick on the point, or even really had an advantage. That, which, you know, in fairness, that means they didn't really give any advantages away, but that also means they just didn't have it all that much. I mean, look at this 10-player kill streak right there. The Mirage doing all the work in the play of the game, and it's understandable why that is the play of the game. Daddy doing pretty much all the work necessary here
Oh
in,
yeah.
in this first to two. It's fantastic to see that Tired Adults are putting on a clinic at the moment, but Soul Food Gaming, man, I'm not sure what they need to change. Number one, they need to be a little bit more cohesive in their tank picks. I mean, that Roadhog, I was kind of like, all right, I could see a world where it makes sense on the well, but when we got to Lighthouse, that
Yeah.
goes out the window for me. The adjustment to go for something more like an Arisa made sense, but it came late.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have come out with the Orisa right off the bat, or maybe even like a Winston, even, I think they could have had a lot more dive capabilities there, especially with the backline they were playing. I mean, they switched over to the Ana, which I thought was great. I love Ana, great pick. But
Mhm.
again, you want to start out on those compositions. If it didn't work on the last map where it was favored, it's probably not going to work out on Elios. And I mean, I believe the next map type is going to be escort. So predictions for the next map?
Well, I mean, listen, Soul Food Gaming going to have the chance to pick this one out. Loser gets to pick, so that's definitely a positive. And all of the maps in the pool are available, so just pick out your best escort. That's the reality for Soul Food. The other thing that's changing is that Tosin, who is playing on the DPS role, is going to be going over to tank, and it actually is going to be Delayed Wave, who is, excuse me, going to the DPS. So a little bit of a swap up there. Maybe that's the swap that Soul Food Gaming need. They
Yeah.
have a large number of their players very flexible. Not playing in hard and fast roles. So that could be the difference maker as we head into that escort pick.
100% agreed though. But I mean, if I'm them and I'm gonna play Roadhog or something like that, if you want to play those comps, go Rialto. Rialto is a very good map. I mean, you can pull out some good stuff there. Junkrat can go on those
True.
off angles with Junk Tire, can go anywhere. I mean, and if you're gonna play Diva, be able to dive the high ground. Hog can be on point, just absolutely just hooking in, getting those kills as much as possible. So if I was Soul Food, that's kind of the map I'm looking at.
So I could see your logic, but the bad news is that Far is great there too.
Par is
Uh,
also really good there
so
too.
so it's like it's pick your poison, right? You can play your strengths, but the reality is that Tired Adults, their strengths are there too. So you have to weigh
Right.
where you're at, and well, unfortunately, not going to be Rialto. We are going to be headed to Dorado though,
Ooh.
which I actually think kind of is in the same boat. Now, obviously, the Roadhog a little less ideal there, but
Right.
definitely you can play Junkrat, especially on that first point and on the defense. That is, I mean,
Yeah.
offense not so much, but I
You
mean,
might want to go that somber.
on the defense you could definitely play that Junkrat if you wanted to. But I do think you're going to have to adjust when it comes to the tank play. That was the biggest. The biggest problem I think was the lack of synergy between the tanks and the DPS over for Soul Food Gaming.
I 100% agreed, and only time will tell. Only time will tell when it comes comp wise. And I mean, if you're the Tired Adults, you don't need to change your comp. You're doing good. Especially, I mean, Far can be used on this map to a degree. There's not really as much spots for boot possibilities with your E ability, but we will see. I mean, if it worked on the first map and they really couldn't counter it, it's probably going to work on Escort.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, we also really didn't see the hit scan being
No,
picked out for Soul Food. So did it did it work to counter it? No. Did Soul Food really try to counter out the Pharah?
not really.
Not really. Exactly. And so to me, I think that that comes down to sometimes when you're getting smacked around a little bit, which listen, all due respect, that's what happened. It can be difficult to understand in the moment what to adjust to. Now, Soul Food Gaming have had some time to think about it. They've had a few moments to calm down and to reset mentally. And so now I think coming into Dorado, they're definitely going to be able to have that opportunity to come out with something a little bit more synergistic, and that could give them a real chance to head into the third map. Remember, this is first to two, so that means a win here for Tired Adults is a win on the series.
You're absolutely correct. You know what? I don't mind what I see on both sides. Tired Adults have a little bit more of a comp here with the Ryan Diva along with the Ashe and the Pharah, so you definitely want that Mercy pick there for the pockets and stuff like that. But Soul Food Gaming is coming out with the Sigma Diva. I don't mind the double off tank. Like sometimes if it can work, it can really work, especially if you're trying to counter that Pharah. I guess if you're not really comfortable on hit scan, having two tanks that can just be a hard counter to Pharah also works as well.
Well, it does and it doesn't, because the whole point of this composition for tired adults is to be applying pressure from multiple different angles, right? It's one angle from above with the Pharah, another angle with the Ashe, and then another angle with the tank line and specifically the Ana. So
Yeah.
that's going to be really difficult to deal with, I think, if you're Soul Food, where a lot of this is just about taking oncoming damage and not dealing with it from multiple sides.
Exactly. Also, I want to just point out that May wall that we just saw was really funny because it bumped stage up, but they were able just to get out of there with the coach gun and just sort of slide down like it was a Doomfist rollout. But I mean, not really any early picks yet though. Daddy is going to be in the sky doing quite a bit of damage here. Another farmer C play always works out pretty well. I mean, they're pretty much able to get under the bridge.
Oh, but
So
they need to rotate quickly. Yeah, this okay. Good stop here. That was a little bit scary for tired adults. They nearly missed the timing to get into this position to play this tank battle.
I mean, Daddy's just gonna get the first pick already onto kill a Cam, and that's your Moira down. I mean, if you're able to get the resurrect, that's great, but you're not really in the position to do there, though. As tired adults are able to get a little bit more space, this Reinhardt can push up. Daddy's just lobbing rockets from the back line, from above, from the side. You know, there's everywhere. What you gonna do? And I mean, they're gonna have the barrage up already, and they're not even too far in the game. As it's just constantly you're getting these kills onto this. Daddy's just doing a great job on this far.
Well, and here's the thing, right? The Moira was in the backline there. The pressure being applied from multiple different angles, like I was talking about, and Soul Food didn't have an answer for it. Here we go again. This time the D.Va helping out in its stage on the other side. It's a 1-2 punch. Everyone coming at this from multiple sides, and Soul Food Gaming caught right in the middle, getting ground up.
Exactly. And I mean, it's working. It's working well. They're holding. Delayed Wave though gets a good pick out though on the stage. So that is a good kill.
Well, it
No,
was
never mind.
a
It was
good kill. You know,
he was balking. There's only so much you can do there. And Thage is just gonna get the dynamite onto the That's just
Yeah.
unfortunate if you're Soul Food, but hey, you have some ults coming up though. You're gonna have the Blizzard and you're gonna have the Coalescence. You can combo those two together, and you know, you could probably do some really good stuff here though. However, if you're tired adults, this exists.
Oh, that's a little bit disrespectful. Just a wee tad. Delayed Wave
Oh,
getting.
he's not done yet.
Oh my goodness. Daddy just showing Delayed Wave the door. But I was going to say, I really like how tired adults are pushing forward. They're not giving any free space over to Soul Food Gaming, and it's forcing Soul Food to group up. That's been their biggest problem. They aren't grouping as a team, and they're not playing together. And, well, when you do play together, you do have to deal with all of the dynamite damage being put forth.
Exactly.
And that's just not great.
No, and Alligator's going to get the anti-nade onto the opposing fight support though, but hey, that's the Blizzard sent out, but there's not really going to be anybody out there to capitalize on much. Ashy Cat will fall, but I don't know how much that's going to work out in the end, because you're down both tanks, so now it's looking like Overwatch 2. 5v5, one tank on each side. But Delayed Wave is going to be in there, going onto the Mercy, but the defense matrix able to eat up that right click before anything happens. Self-destruct sent it to the back line. Nothing's going to be set there. Thage's Bob is going to get one kill though onto Delayed Wave. And now it's 41 seconds left, and there's not really much Soul Food can do here. Yeah, they guess they have 3 ultimates coming up, but realistically, they're just constantly getting staggered. And if you're going to get staggered, you're going to get down to OT, and then you're not going to... Toshin died with Flux.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is going to be time to at least... actually, yeah, no, Tosin lost Flux. I didn't realize. I thought maybe they could get back in time, but no, entirely lost out on it. That's... I mean, it's a tragedy. That's the reality. There's just
really
10 seconds remaining, and yeah, there is this coalesce. There is the potential to put the wall up here, but I mean, I don't even think that's going to matter. At least they're back on cart, and overtime is going to get ticked.
Exactly, and Ashy Cat has received the nano boost, and Daddy's going to set the Black Barrage in, gets 2 kills with it, and that's going to be the self-destruct from Caller Daddy to secure out the victory here for tired adults. Well, not yet. The victory on this round, but there's not really far as that they can go on their offense. They got to the bridge and it stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be a negative Nancy on this one, but tired adults, listen, they don't got far to go. Let's put it that way. It's it's a casual stroll to the underneath bridge area here, and Soul Food gonna have to dial up some sort of crazy hold if they want to be able to actually push this to a third map, but I just don't see that happening. Now, granted, we haven't seen the hero select come through just yet, and maybe that'll change my mind. But I also think that, well, Soul Food Gaming played a
Yes.
decent composition before, and it didn't matter. This time, oh, they're just going for broke. That's what Soul Food Gaming are doing.
Let's go.
Pull out the easy win, delayed vibe. I love the Bastion
I was just about to
decision.
say, you know what? I know people hate Bastion, but like it's funny. It's a funny character. They can do the funny sit and point click and well boom, you're back in the respawn, uninstalling your game and going to something else.
The old point and click adventure. I do love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we see the golden box of victory there. Definitely going to be a tough hold, but I mean, possible. Certainly possible. But I also am not too sure about Tosin going up on the Zarya. I mean, if you're going to run this, play the double shield, man. That's what I would think, but maybe they know something I don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they kind of have three different comps in one. Like, they have Rush in one. Well, that's unfortunate, as Delayed Vibe gets taken out immediately, and the DPS line of Tired Adults is just doing what they've done all game, and capitalizing on the pace just right off the bat.
Well, and the bad news is, right, that if you're going to play the Bastion, it's the worst that this Pharah has been the go-to pick for Tired Adults all day long, because basically that's the perfect counter to a Bastion, is playing the Pharah.
Nice. And I mean, now Tired Adults has just gotten pretty much everything they needed to be able to secure their victory here, and they've gotten almost all the kills. They haven't fully capped the point yet, and there it is. That was a little bit of a cakewalk. Hate to see it sometimes. You love to see those a little bit closer up matches, but if you're Tired Adults, you came into that knowing exactly what you wanted to play. You executed it perfectly. I mean, you really didn't have much fault in there.
I mean, they didn't lose a point.
No, they didn't lose a point. And I mean, especially Daddy here on the Pharah Mercy, yeah, it happens. Yeah, it might be what, cheese strat, it's easy to do it. But hey, if you can do it and there's no hit scan threat against you or no major threat, Pharah Mercy just deals so much damage. And you can
Well,
just do whatever and farm in those kills.
listen, and here's the reality: there ain't no such thing as a
No,
cheese strat. There's just
no.
strats that beat you and strats that don't. And if Far Mercy is what wins in this situation, then fair enough. You just got to accept it and move on. And fortunately, that's what Soul Food Gaming are going to have to be doing. Tired Adults do take the victory here in the first round of North American Open Division, and
Yeah.
somebody had to draw the short straw here. Soul Food Gaming, unfortunately, they certainly did draw that short straw this time, as Tired Adults get to move on. Rebel, final thoughts before we head to a short break to get our next matchup ready to go.
Final thoughts? I mean, yeah, if you're Tired Adults, keep at it. Maybe get those comps a little bit more cohesion. I mean, you did
Yeah,
everything quite perfectly, but like just make sure do a little fine tuning. See if you need to make a couple swaps here and there. Like the more it works, maybe swap it out for an Ana. I don't mind it, but hey, if it works, it works. You get you 2-0. If you're Soul Food Gaming, just take a look. Figure out a couple comps you want to play and just mash them. And I mean, you can do a lot there.
absolutely. We'll be seeing more from Tired Adults as they move forward, but we're going to set up our next matchup. We'll be back with more Open Division in just a little bit. Hey, we're back a little bit early, but that's just to let you know that we have a little bit of time between now and our next match of about an hour to be precise. So if you're interested in in some more Overwatch, we have a second stream going at twitch.tv/reflash underscore OW. That's twitch.tv/reflash underscore OW. So definitely head over there, check it out. Got some awesome casters and some awesome teams going,
Heck yeah.
and we'll be back in just about an hour. See you then.
See you.
Well, it's been a hot minute, but we're finally back and prepared for our second series of today, Vincent, alongside Rebel once again. And our next matchup, Bastion Fishing, going up against Chimp Club, some more recognizable names this time, Rebel.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about him. I've been on and off watching Open Division through the years, but I'm looking forward. Once again, more Overwatch. Just makes me happy.
Hey, listen, I love it when you're happy because that makes me happy. We
For
got
sure.
Chimp Club, a team that has sort of been around a little bit. They played in a couple different leagues, have had some top fours, a first place placing in Horizon League as well. Bastion Fishing, on the other hand, last seen at the Overwatch Empowerment Cup, I believe. And we're seeing three of the six players who were on that team, Steady, Jacoby, and Secret, are the three returning from that roster that played at the Empowerment Cup. So it should be interesting. I'm excited to see how this one goes. And honestly, I really have no clue who is the
Favorites.
favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's the joy of Open Division, seeing like some of these like maybe overpowered teams and like maybe weaker or like, having the even matchup where it can go like, I don't know, game six, even I don't even think that's possible, but you never know. Just
Hey, listen,
keep drawing once
I've
again.
seen a game 8 in Open Division before. So, uh, listen, it happens. It
It
does.
happens. It happens.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. And well, same deal with regard to the map pool. By the way, at least I believe it is. I think we get to start over on Elios, and then we'll be headed for Control, then Escort, Hybrid, and then
Mhm.
Control if we need it. I've been told I'm wrong. Apparently,
It's
Lijiang
Lijiang.
is where we're going. My bad.
Lijiang Tower. Lijiang is one of my favorite maps. I love it, mostly because I had to play Lucio for 6 months straight for a team, but hey, Lijiang Tower is just a great map. It's been around forever. I mean, there's so much different possibility of comps you can play on that, especially a lot more of the favorite ones like the Brawl or Far Mercy. We saw Far Mercy played in the last map. Maybe we're gonna see it again. You never know. But maybe teams will have hit scans. So that is the real question. But I do believe we are probably going to see quite a bit of Symmetra play. That's just very common on it, just to get on the point right away.
Oh,
Long, usually followed up with a Ryan Zarya or Ryan Diva comp.
yeah, Symmetra definitely going to be making a showing, an appearance over here. And yeah, I'd be down for some brawl, though. Control center is really where that might happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, though.
No, no, no.
I always will say one thing, and then teams will go for something different, and I'm just like, okay, well, might as well just wait and figure it out live whilst everyone else does,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you know what?
Exactly.
It's just surprise. I like surprises, you know?
Surprises are fun. They're
Yeah, they
very
are.
fun. But I mean, yeah, especially I mean, it's just a well-known map. Everybody loves Lijiang. If you don't like Lijiang, I don't know what you're doing. Do you
What's
really
wrong
play
with you?
Overwatch? I mean, there might be a couple people who don't like Lijiang Tower, but like, come on, there's just so much fun you can have on this map. Like anytime I'm in ranked, I'm just grueling through, the motions and stuff like that. I see Lijiang pop up, I know I'm gonna have a good time. I might lose and then I won't, but like you're gonna have a good time playing it. Comps are always fun on them. And I believe we're headed into the map in a second here.
Yeah, we should be getting
Should be
ready to
loading
get
in.
started as soon enough. But yeah, this Bastion Fishing roster, like I said, 3 out of the 6 players returning from the Empowerment Cup, and 4. This is kind of the third iteration of this team. Because we had one more iteration. Sunshine is in as well. So, and then 2 new faces that haven't been seen before. Maybe a debut, at least on stream. That is
Heck
not,
yeah.
obviously been practicing getting things ready for this type of thing. I'm
Exactly.
excited to see what
I
they
am
have to
too.
offer. But I did just get the word we are going to be headed in shortly. And with that, I mean, I think that at least on paper, Bastion Fishing are definitely a strong contender here. But
Oh,
like I
yes.
said, it's hard for me to say favorite. That word is scary for me.
Right. I 100% agree. And I mean, we are going to be headed to Control Center first. So if you want to talk about these comps, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Brawl, we all love a little bit of Brawl, don't we? And that's exactly what we have here. A little bit of an interesting adjustment to Brawl for Chimp Club. They're running that Sigma, whereas it's more of a traditional, more brawly style with the D.Va and Reinhardt over for Bastion fishing. So I do think that these compositions make sense. The other big difference that I'm noticing here is on the DPS. You got O5R, who is going to be playing on the Cassidy. Meanwhile, Zappy's gone for the Reaper, so a lot of upfront damage available for that Reaper.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I'm having a couple internet issues here right now, so if you wanna
Oh boy.
talking about it while I get back into the game, go for
Well,
it.
that Reaper did just about everything that you could have
Yep.
expected. The Reaper came forward. It allows for Chimp Club to do the additional damage that Survivor couldn't find on the Cassidy. And so a reset there for Bastion fishing as the first capture is going to come through for Chimp Club. And, well, re-engagement coming forth relatively soon as well. Really good job for Bastion fishing to get back in as quickly as they have. It's Solo going to be fighting out against non-binary. That duel for the Reinhardt not working out. Non-binary just barely able to survive as things move forward. Rebel, you figure your way back in or no?
Not quite yet. Almost there. Keep it up.
No problem, no problem. The amplification matrix being utilized there by Gallium to allow entry, but Chimp Club still finding the successful kills on pretty much everything as O5 has to fall back, trying to find something on the retreat, but that's not to be. A little bit of ultimate charge, though, definitely there for Bastion fishing. They're going to have the slight advantage, maybe, as they move forward. The Reinhardt definitely going to have the Earth Shatter. Solo the same. As we push forward, there's the application matrix this time for Chimp Club, and there is that Earth Shatter, and along with the Reaper doing all the damage, finding everything. Not even the Villamp can help out. Bastion fishing sent back to spawn.
It was lagging out, but I was able to see that here. And I mean, hey, that was a huge death blossom. That was huge. Zappy coming in here with huge with the Reaper. And I mean, they're going to have quite a bit of ultimates to work with.
Well, they do. That being said, non-binary lost out on the Earth Shatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Solo. There's that first kill, and the bad news for Gallium.
Oh my god.
Losing out on that main support. It's never what you want to do in the start of a fight, and just in case, Hyper going to throw in the Lucio ultimate there just to make sure that everybody stays healthy.
Yes. I should be good now. We should be good now. I can finally turn it over the mic. But yeah, no, Chimp Club has been dominant so far. They're 96% on the clock. I don't even think Bastion fishing is able to touch here. I mean, the Tracer is going to be able to go on and just do a little bit of damage, but as the overtime clock is ticking down, they're able to do a little bit. November 12th does get the self-destruct kill, so that's huge. I mean, Chimp Club are still up right now by one player. The Immortality's going to take it out, but that's going to be the Shatter from Solo. Oh, boy. And they're just going to secure it 100% to 0.
That's insult to injury there. Chimp Club doing everything that they needed to do. And beyond that, you know, I got to say, things that I like for Bastion fishing, I like their composition. I really liked how quickly they were able to reset and get back in there. Unfortunately, the ultimate usage and decision-making with regard to those ultimates was a little bit on the slower side. And I think that's where Chimp Club really was the better team. They were very decisive when it came down to their ult usage. Solo in particular set the pace phenomenally as we head over into the next stage. This is looking relatively similar for Chimp Club. The only big difference is Oats has moved to the Winston. No more Sigma. On the other side of things, we're seeing an entirely different look. It's the dive to come out as swaps come through as the door is open.
You know what? I'm here for Chimp Club's double maintain comp that they're playing here with the Reinhardt plus the Winston. It could be very interesting here, along with the Ball D.Va, Briggs, and Dive, as we've seen many, many times before, especially in the higher ranks of Overwatch. It can be one of the more dominant comps here. I mean, now they are going to be able to fight on the point a little bit here. I mean, I think if you're Chimp Club, you might have a little bit of an advantage just because you're in that close quarters. That's really where this composition shines, because you can get up close with the Winston, you can get up close with the Reaper, exactly just like that. As, I mean, Oats takes out Gaslight, and he gets November 12th as well. So now Chimp Club are able to get a little bit on the point here, but the boop from non-binary onto Solo is going to really be able to do some damage here as Bastion fishing are making their way back into the fight here. Gallium doing what they can from the backline here on the Zenyatta, but it's just Zappy on the point still. But hey, Chimp Club are still holding on. This has been really back and forth. Now finally Bastion fishing are really able to, they're able to cap.
Yeah, and listen, Chip Club, they need to take some thoughts there because they got way too aggressive and allowed for non-binary to find far more success than that was really reasonable to find. That being said, they are going to be able to get back in, and it's a bait and switch, just using that teleporter to fake them out.
Exactly, and I mean, Oats already taking out 05 is going to be huge. That's going to be the mines along with the Transcendence here from Bastion Fishing, just to try and hold on to the point a little bit longer. The Immortality Field is going to be committed here, but Pixel Master is taken down in the meantime as Solo gets an Earth Shatter onto 9 Binary. And I mean, Solo and Zappy just doing what they can, being able to get these kills. Zappy here on the Reaper going ham with these Hellfire shotguns.
Yeah, that damage being done by Zappy on the Reaper is just second to none. And look at this, applying additional pressure there, and then getting out with the Shrouded Step. Just perfectly done. Bastion Fishing not only losing out on the point, but the other problem is really don't have the ultimates necessary to get back in here. They're gonna have to be pretty clever with it and maybe get something out of this this 05er ult, because realistically, otherwise, they don't have a lot to break through.
I mean, yeah, but that's the sound barrier committed, though, from Hyper. I mean, they used the Tag Visor to try and do something as the self-destruct is sent into the backline, but it's only really used to zone a bit longer. Oh my god, the Amp Matrix is sent out. I don't know if Bastion Fishing are really able to push back in here, and plus the Death Blossom is there because guess what? He's just going to send it out. He gets booped, though, so, hey, able to stay alive for a little bit longer, along with having the Defense Matrix sent on him. He can stay alive for a little bit longer. Sunshine sends the Pulse Bomb, though, onto Colors. Colors gets taken down, but Chimp Club, they're still in this. I mean, they have the self-destruct. They're going to send it out. Doesn't really find anything, though, but Bastion Fishing is slowly drudging their way back into this fight. But Zappy, if Zappy's still alive, I don't know what else you're going to be able to do, because he's just going to go into the backline as Reaper. He's going to get the kills and stall it out to 85%.
Well, Zappy actually got out there. The team coming back in, and Chimp Club, actually, this is so aggressive. There's no reason to be this aggressive. Well, maybe so, actually. These staggers have come at a good time. Bastion Fishing not actually back onto the point fully, and that is going to allow for Chimp Club to not only retake the point, but create a whole lot of space.
Exactly, and I mean, I don't know. Ah, dang it, my internet's crapping out again. Take it over.
It feels bad, man. It's all right. Chimp Club's feeling a little bit better as they've been applying the pressure left, right, and center. That's a fantastic wall put up by Colors to entirely deny the self-destruct put forth by November 12th. And now with 99% and taking overtime is certainly here, but the Amp Matrix goes down, the sound barrier to add on, and Bastion Fishing are just trying to stay alive as long as they can, but that is not very long, as the ball is the only one left to play, and it looks to me like the overtime will be ticked on, and it is. Chimp Club going to be able to take this one in 2-0 fashion.
That's pretty dominant. I mean, Bastion Fishing they're able to come back here and there. I mean, they got percentage on the point. They were able to go in, like, this dive comp that they're playing can work out very well. I don't know if it's just the right composition for that map. Night Market's had that specific meta for years and years and years. I mean, the Symmetra, having the Reinhardt be able just to be a steady anchor on the point, especially with just the comp they were playing, the Lucio BAP, along with the Sim and the Reaper. Like, you're going to be in a good spot to be able to hold and just be as aggressive as possible. I mean, we saw them. They were able to take aggressive retakes.
Yeah, well, I don't think the composition was the problem, to be honest. I really think that the issue is that once Chimp Club get onto the point, their composition is great for staying there. And
Exactly.
without a monkey to deal with the Symmetra turrets or something else, I mean, there's just a lot to look at. And Bastion Fishing also were struggling just a little bit to coordinate effectively, or at least more as effectively as I would have liked. Their whole composition is surrounded that ball engagement, and not everybody was actually engaging with the ball, and that's a problem. You have to be doing that, otherwise you're going to pretty much be staggering, and that's what we saw. Bastion Fishing just staggered a little bit too much, and Chimp Club continuing to find successful kills while that was happening. A first point for Chimp Club is they take the first map of this series, but as we head towards map 2, I'm interested to see what Bastion Fishing can do as we continue.
Yeah, and we do have the map pick. It is going to be Rialto.
Oh,
I love Rialto.
we
Hey,
were
you know what?
talking
I'm
about it
seeing these
before.
good maps being played, and I am here for it. But this is a map that could be very much featured in into their comp that they're playing with the Ball Diva. Like, you can dive on those high grounds. You can sit in the back line on Zen with those narrow sight lines and just lob orbs left and right and just be able just to do so much damage.
That's definitely a good point. And on top of that, I think that if you're looking at what Bastion Fishing were doing well, they were actually doing quite a good job of posturing, getting into position to then engage. Now, those engagements, like I was talking about, a little less clean than I would have liked to see. That being said, Chimp Club, we've yet to see them try any sort of dive. So for that matter, I don't
Yeah,
know if we can call it a victory just by knowing that that's what Bastion Fishing are looking to play. Chimp Club looked very good on the comp that they were playing on both Control Center and Night Market, and so for
exactly.
that reason, I, I I'm a little bit scared.
I'm a little bit scared too, but you know, if it works, it works. We will only time will tell. That's just kind of how it goes in Overwatch, in competitive Overwatch. Like
True.
it really depends on the composition on Rialto because Rialto can be played in a couple different ways. You can play the rush, you can play the double shield, or you can play the dive. But it's really just being able to find the success on your particular comp. Because like if you dive, you have to just go in, make sure you're all going in together, focusing down the target, as we know how dive works. So
Yeah, exactly. It's really as simple or as complicated as that. I think that's the reality. So
yeah,
as we look into Rialto, we have to expect Bastion Fishing to be looking forward to playing more of that ball, but we're going to be seeing that relatively shortly. And it looks to me like we have been debated as per the usual arrangement. Rebel, it's not going to be any sort of crazy ball composition. Looks
nope.
like it's pretty standard double shield, double sniper going to be pulled out. And this is a classic pretty much on
Yeah,
on this map. I mean, you talked about the high grounds and how those are great staging areas for a dive. Well, those high grounds are just as good when it comes to staging for a sniper, as well as the fact that you have the shields to add on to that. So, this first point, I'm excited to kind of see how things will go, and looks like it's going to be mostly a mirror matchup. The key difference here, Gaslight going to be on the Mercy versus, okay, no, actually Hyper swapping it over.
to the
Unsure
Zen.
Zenyatta. So a little
Bad
bit more
Zen, love it.
damage from Chimp Club is available, and that's going to definitely allow a lot more pressure on the shields of Bastion Fishing.
Exactly. I mean, hey, double shield's always a good comp on this map. You can just be able to get those halt and the stuns, do whatever you need to do. But hey, Sunshine already getting the first kill onto the opposing Widowmaker. The Widow duel is real, but Fiverr following it up onto Solo. So a couple picks, depends on which one you want to think is more important. For me, I think the tank pick is a little bit more important than the DPS. Because, I mean, everybody else can just do a DPS job as well. Damage, got to get those kills, got to get that damage in early. But Sunshine taking out Colors again. So he's just kind of sitting in the spawn, just waiting for him to respawn again. Maybe it'll happen again. I hope so. I think it's funny. But I mean, Chimp Club, though, they're able to get a little bit progress. But this is really, really where we see a lot of the fights happen is in this choke point here. Because this is the most important choke for a first point to get through. I mean, maybe besides right under the bridge, right towards the cap of the point. But I mean, Bastion Fishing are just able to hold on for a little bit longer here. Like, they're able to get the picks. They're able to hold onto these positions and on the high ground very well. And I mean, it just works.
I mean, actually, what's interesting there is that Chimp Club, they weren't allowed to get into position to play this, and I do enjoy me some small little angles there. Sunshine trying to put that into perspective, but yeah, Chimp Club, they haven't been able to get into position to actually engage correctly. This time, maybe they will. Colors is applying the pressure from the opposite angle, and that's the opener, but it's traded pretty quick.
I mean, hey, that was a cool flick. I love the Widow flicks, but I mean, yeah, it's traded immediately, though, as Fiverr is going to just be able to do a ton of damage here. And I mean, if you have a damage boost in Ashe, whew, there's a lot of damage you can do with that. I mean, that's just known, but like, there's a lot of damage you can do with that. As the Gravitic Flux is sent out here by Oath, he's able to lift up one, takes that Fiverr. Now this is coming back in here if you are the Chimp Club. So, I mean, they're able to take out the Bongo. He's just doing so much damage here if you're Oath on the Sigma. And if they're able to hold on for a little bit longer, you're fine. But if not, it's a respawn.
That supercharger denial was pretty critical. You can see that it's really a respawn issue right now. Is that Bob is going to create so much additional space as well for Zappy, and Chimp Club, I believe, should be able to get out of this as long as they can regroup themselves. They have that spawn advantage and they're using it well.
They're using it very well, and I mean, they're finally getting some of these kills here. I mean, Pixel Master on the Zenyatta, like doing doing some hefty damage, and now I understand why they were playing. I mean, I saw why they played Bab Zen earlier, but now they're on the Brig Zen, and Brig Zen is also very good. They're back to they're on the dive. They're on the dive comp, and I like this dive comp. It works out very well, especially for going into this next point. You want to be able to take that high ground control, because if you can do that, that's only like the real major angle where you're able to defend from maybe other than under bridge.
I like that they swapped to the dive comp at that time. The reason I love it is because they realized that not only did they have spawn advantage, but if they just added onto that and had a ball, then they would be even faster to get back in and re-engage. And that's why Chimp Club were able to actually ultimately win that initial fight, or I should say it was the second fight, but more aptly, the first real fight of that engagement. And
exactly.
Actually, Gaslight, that was fantastic. Finding
I
a
was
kill
just about
there.
to say that, yeah.
Opener with the Brigitte, that's perfect. And Chimp Club have continued to push forward, and they're going to get punished for it.
Oh, but the Transcendence is going to be sent out. Pixel Master, huge, being able to deny that from the Flux, but Solo going into the backline here with the mines. Doesn't really find anything, though, but Gaslight Solo is going to get taken out by the opposing Brigitte. And I mean, now these are coming some back and forth picks here, but it's looking a little bit more favorable in Chimp Club for this fight. If they can take care of the Sigma on the point, I think they're going to be in a good position to push a little bit forward. I mean, their Diva's back now. But, I mean, 05 are sitting in the backline with Ash, just able to lob the shots in, the Dynamite, and I think that's going to be a Diva DMAC too. I don't think you can stagger that Diva all too well, but well, actually they are. Well, they're going to get the tack reset, but you saw they were trying to do the stagger.
Chimp Club, I'm really not sure why they continue to invest there. Not only did they lose that opening pick, Gaslight with the kill, but on top of that, they got DMAC. Oats was out of Mac, and the Gravitic Flux and everything. It's just not really a clean engage for sure, as now Chance is coming back, nearly November 12th being taken out. But Chimp Club, they are going to need to actually group up a little bit here, or at least set the stage for an actual dive, because if they just continue going in alone, as Solo just did, then they're definitely going to continue to get picked off.
100% agreed. And I mean, now there's a minute and 30 seconds on the clock left. If you're Chimp Club, you have a little bit of time to work with. You're on the cart now, so you can start maybe forcing it a little bit further off the choke point.
Oh, there's that supercharger.
Oh, there is that supercharger, though. But Oats is able to take out 05er right away. And I mean, I think Pixel Master, it might send in the Transcendence, but that is going to be the self-destruct by Oats, and Oats takes out non-binary. And Chimp Club are finally able to get back into this fight here. Using your ultimates now is especially necessary as Solo gets the slam kill onto Galleon. And now they're able just to capitalize and collapse. The rally is going to be sent out, so the stay alive button, yeah, I guess it's working. But if you have a Discord on you, you're not going to survive for much longer as Colors goes in and follows up the kill.
Would have preferred for Gaslight to hang on to that. The other problem that I saw there for Bastion Fishing is the mistiming there. It was great that they used the supercharger, but they mistimed the shield so poorly, and so non-binary didn't have a shield in front of the players who were shooting down on towards Chimp Club. That's a big mental mistake, and Chimp Club are able to take advantage. Remember, that was just a minute on the clock before. Now there's 2, and they're pushing in towards point 3.
Exactly. Colors is able to take out 05er right away there with the Pulse Bomb. Hyper sends out the rally, so now they are able to stay alive just for a little bit longer. As long as that Brigitte stays alive, your rest of the team is going to stay alive. And I mean, they're following up on it so well here. These dives are well coordinated, and you can understand why they won the first map. They're able just to, so far their flexibility has been showing off real well. They've pulled out a couple different comps, and they're able to make these changes. I like the comp they're on now. And now look at the ultimates that they're going to be going into this next fight with.
Well, I mean, the real problem is that Bastion Fishing just have better and more of those ultimates, and it's a great disengage here. Look at Chimp Club. They hear the Bob. They know that this is a re-engagement for Bastion Fishing, and so they're like, okay, fine. We just won't fight you. Same thing for this Ant Matrix. Just try to get away, but this time Oats can't do it. Gallium pushing all the way forward, and with the help rather of 05er, it's a bit of a problem. This is fantastic aggression from Bastion Fishing, and Chimp Club, while they did the right thing, while they tried to do the right thing, they were denied. Bastion Fishing overwhelming, using the ultimate advantage that they had to continue to push forward and find that success. And as they move in towards this next fight, they are actually able to farm up both of their tank ultimates. They're gonna have a rally, and that's really gonna give them a good chance to actually stop this right here. There's only 30 seconds on the clock, so it's up to Chimp Club to try and get fancy.
I mean, Chimp Club also do have some ultimates they can work with, especially being the stall ultimate that is known as the Mines. Oh, but Solo is going to be he was almost gonna get punished for that here, but they have Bob, they have Mines, they're just gonna send him out of the cart right now. Self-destruct, all of the ultimates are coming out at once, but it's looking a little bit more favorable for Chimp Club here as Colors uses the Pulse Bomb in the backline, doesn't really find anything here, but Oats is gonna be able to get the kill on 05er. It's gonna be overtime here in a second, but if you're Chimp Club, you are able just to stay alive just for a little bit longer for Gallium in November 12th, making some of these comeback plays. Gallium gets another kill on Zappy, and Solo's able to take out Gallium here. Now they're able just to push up a little bit further here. The Brigitte and the Orisa is still going to be alive on the point. So if you can be able just to take out one of these, you're able to get the cart further, and that is going to be non-binary taken down. This cart is still going to be stalled. Backs up just a little bit, giving a little bit more space because you're able to fight in here, especially behind the Sigma shield. And now Sunshine, if you take a look, they're very close to the Pulse Bomb. They can stay alive for a little bit longer. They can get a nice Pulse Bomb into the backline and just be able to take out one of the players here. 05er, that's a huge kill right there on a Zappy. And this is where you want to start in taking out them to be able to deny them. And that's going to be Sunshine there with the Pulse Bomb on the Hyper. And this is looking really good for Fast and Fishing to be able to deny him this third point. Yeah, Chimp Club got pretty far, but in the end, Fast and Fishing were just able to hold on there in the end. That early crucial pick was huge.
Yeah, you know, I think the story here for Bastion Fishing is that they overall played a really smart defense, but they had some critical errors that really allowed for Chimp Club to push as far forward as they did. And in the first point, especially, I think it was Chimp Club who had a really heads up play, good decision making. They swapped over into that more divey composition. Moving off of the double shield in order to utilize the spawn advantage that they had in a little bit better way. And so as we move in towards Bastion Fishing's attack, I do have to wonder, okay, how are Chimp Club going to adjust, right? They played their double shield. It was okay, but not great. Sunshine was winning the hit scan duel pretty effectively. She did a really good job, and so now it's looking to me as if Colors has just opted out of it, and they're going to try and apply that pressure that would be in the Widow duel to the back line of Bastion Fishing, though I just don't know how effective that's going to be, because look at the back line. You got a Mercy and you got a Batiste. Those are really difficult to actually nail down and find a kill on, because obviously Gaslight's just going to fly away, and Gallium has an immortality field.
Exactly, and something that we mentioned even in the last match here, when you mentioned the Mercy, having that damage boosted Ashe is really good. And I mean, we saw that earlier. Having a damage boosted Ashe is just so good. And I mean, if they're able to get the early pick off it with 2, the amount of damage you can get with it as well is just huge.
You can see where Sunshine is looking to put their crosshair. That being said, I'm loving where Bastion Fishing are right now. They need to find this opening pick, though.
You saw that flick, right? You saw that
nasty.
flick on the Oats. That was nasty. I mean, yeah, Oats is a tank, so it's going to stay alive, but I mean, it's going to give Bastion Fishing a little bit more space here, but hey, Colors is in the back line here, taking care of some of these people as he's going to dive onto the Mercy and just get 2 kills with it. And it's actually what you want to be doing with Tracer, just being annoying in the back line, you know, just kind of Tracer's job as Chimp Club is able to hold out here for a little bit longer.
Yeah, so I was talking about how Colors, you know, okay, is this going to work? Is this going to be the right decision to apply that backline pressure? It looks like the answer is yes. Sunshine denied, and so now Sunshine has swapped over onto a Tracer of their own, so it's going to be that Tracer duel we're in for that mirror matchup, with the exception of Gaslight, who's still hanging out on the Mercy, and that could be the difference with regards to the additional damage, but now it's about Bastion Fishing getting into position to actually take this fight. Because getting around this corner, it's tough. It's really difficult. And you can see Bastion Fishing fighting like hell just to get into this spot in the high ground.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're Bastion Fishing, you got to rely on a key ultimate here. Like this one, Ant Matrix. That's good. Now you can just go in right here behind him, get the pull, and that's going to be the Immortality Field being used. Baptiste has fallen so low here, and that's going to be the Bob from Bastion Fishing. Take it out solo, but the Gravitic Flex from Oats is there to counter them now. But hey, this is still going back and forth. This is still looking pretty good if you're Bastion Fishing, as 05er is just doing everything in their power to be able to hold on to this fight. He kills the Bob. They're able to kill the Brigitte. And I mean, now Bastion Fishing are able to push up here, and they have ults to be able to push up with too.
What a great back away, though. This is perfect. Chimp Club disengaging at the right time. Now they can re-engage with the ultimates they have, and then get a chance to fight one more time for this first point.
Exactly, and that's the Gravitic Flux is going to be sent up. Tag holds on to Solo, sends him down. That's the Immortality Field, being able to keep non-binary. Just, well, I mean, not alive. He died eventually, but Colors is still in the backline, just doing what he's been doing. I don't think I've really seen Colors been punished almost this entire game.
No, and Colors certainly has been the better tracer, I think, overall. Sunshine struggling to get the same level of value as Colors, but Chimp Club, they've just saved their first point hold, or at least the potential for it right here, right now. 1 minute remaining. Bastion Fishing invested heavily. They gave everything that they had into that last fight, and they've got nothing left. They need to go for a bit of an eco push here, and, well, Solo has put down the Supercharger to make that a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Solo's already able to take on November 12th, so that's one of your tanks down, that's one of your shields gone. Now now's the time for a soft reset. Just hold your position, don't die, don't do anything stupid, don't die, and pray to God you can get 05er's Bob. And I mean, if you can get, they have ults. They have ults coming up online that they can use to push in, especially the Valkyrie and the Bob.
Yeah, that Valkyrie is key. There's two Bobs on the field. It's going to be whether the Valkyrie can get as much value as Oats is going to get with this Gravitic Flux. That is pretty much the key as we move forward. Last fight territory here.
And yeah, that's already going to be the Immortality taken out here. And 05er's going to send the Bob in. And then they're Bastion Fishing. They're able to get 2 kills here. This is really where it matters. Now I think they're finally in a good position to be able to take this point. I mean, think if you're Chimp Club, you've already burnt enough time on the clock. Yeah, maybe try and contest this, but it's not really going to matter as Bastion Fishing grab the point.
Chimp Club tried to do that same little disengage maneuver, and hey, listen, that was a really good idea, but Bastion Fishing weren't having none of that.
No,
so
they weren't.
They were able to get the better of it, and the reality is 05er just had the better Bob. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Whose Bob was better? 05er by a long shot. Not to mention hit some nice shots, nice headshots as well. And Bastion Fishing now in a pretty good spot to move forward. They're going to have both their tank ultimates, and there goes that Supercharger as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the Supercharger sent out here. And Colors is still in the backline, though, doing what he's been doing all game. They've been able to get these kills. Oh, that pill! Woo-hoo, that pull is disgusting. And I mean, yeah, Bastion Fishing can maybe hold in here for a little bit longer as the Resurrect comes out here, but Colors is still there. Colors is alive. There's a threat to your backline. I mean, Sunshine is able to get the Pulse Bomb kill on the Hyper, so hey, that's the Brigitte down with the rally, but Oats is sending in the Gravitic Flux to try and go on to Gallium. Gallium's going to get taken out, and that is Gaslight. That is your backline down if you were Bastion Fishing. Now this is the good time for Chimp Club to be able to get these kills, build up your ultimates, and hold them out. So this is just a really well team fight one for them.
I can't believe that Chimp Club won that fight, because in all worlds they should lose it. Somehow they get away only losing out on Hyper, re-engage with just the singular ultimate there. Oats is the only one who threw it in, and now Chimp Club have a massive advantage, not to mention the fact that now the Amp Matrix is just perfect. You gotta cross this area, and Bastion Fishing they're fish in a barrel.
Yeah, literally. I mean, if you have Zappy here, just with the Widowmaker, just waiting for that one little head just to stay out there for a little bit too long, and you're dead. Colors, though, is going to be spotted, so we might see a little bit of a tracer duel here, but that's going to be the Pulse Bomb sent out along with the pull, but hey, it's not going to be able to really find anything. Oats does take out Gallium, though, and I mean, Sunshine is just going... They're going ham. They're doing what Colors was doing earlier. That's going to be the Bongo taken out there. That's no more tank ultimate being used. And I mean, Bastion Fishing are doing whatever they can to try and stay alive in this fight. They might have a couple ultimates ready for this next fight too. They're going to have the Pulse Bomb ready. They're going to have the Gravitic Flux, and they have Ant Matrix to work with.
They didn't win the duel, though. They killed everyone on the periphery, but the tank line stood tall, and there's 15 seconds on the clock. Chimp Club somehow get away with that one, and now it's Bastion Fishing who have to touch, but they are being pressured from all sides.
Oh no, that's somebody you need to keep alive, and they don't have a Mercy anymore to be able to resurrect. I mean, hey, they're able to touch the point. That's going to be the Gravitic Flux sent out here. But I mean, if they can stay alive, they might have a chance here, but it's not really going to matter. I mean, Chimp Club are just hitting these kills. They are just doing everything better. Sunshine is going to take out Hyper here, but November 12th is going to be left to their devices on the point. 05R is going to be there with the Bob sent out onto the point. Maybe they can try and do something to clutch it here, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be happening at all. I mean, Chimp Club were just more dominant as they take the series here 2-0.
You know, dominant, that's certainly a word for it, but the way I would describe how Chimp Club were able to take this victory is that their decision making on when to swap and how to move around the map was just a little bit superior. We are seeing Sunshine, who, I talked about how I thought that Colors was the superior tracer. I think
Right.
Sunshine put on a clinic
Heck
there
yeah.
near the end, and certainly at least fought back in that battle. I,
Right.
I'm not so sure if I could say with distinction who was better overall, but
They
it
were both doing pretty
certainly
good things.
Sunshine made it closer, as she did a fantastic job, especially in those last few pushes. Um,
Exactly.
the reality though is those rotations that Chump Club were making, they were perfect. They
Oh,
actually pushed pushed out and pushed back in exactly when they needed to in order to create space and make the moves when they were correct. And meanwhile, Bastion Fishing, they just kind of struggled to be proactive.
exactly. I mean, Chimp Club were just a little bit, like you said, and the word I would use is more coordinated. Just their
Fair.
comms were probably really clean. I mean, they probably had either their Briggers End maybe making the call outs here, especially if you're going to be calling out those discords, calling the dive targets. And yeah, the rotations were, oh boy, those rotations were pretty good. Just being able just to move around the map, knowing the map awareness, it's a very good thing, especially in such a game like Overwatch, where you just need to know where everything is going on the map. You need to know the counters. You need to know how you want to go in and approach the fight. And I think they did that perfectly.
I think they did it exactly perfectly. That's the right word. Chum Club doing what they can as they move on. That is impressive. Bastion Fishing, on the
Oh
other
yeah.
hand, unfortunately, down the lower bracket. They're not out just yet. They have
Nope.
the chance to bring things back though,
Oh yeah.
which is awesome news. Final thoughts, Rebel, on this matchup?
Final thoughts? I mean, hey, Bash and Fishing showed some good stuff. Just make sure you engage at the right time. I think that was really just the main thing. Just trying to know when you want to take those fights and time it right with when overtime's going to start and things like that. You're looking good. You got some really solid parts. Just work on maybe those comms a little bit and some of those early rotations and swap picks. Other than that, you were looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. With that being said, that is going to be it for at least this stream for Open Division today. We got more stuff going on though on the second stream. That's twitch.tv/reflash underscore OW if you want to check that out. Got K Wing and Billy over there on the microphone
Heck
bringing you
yeah.
the action. Definitely check them out. With that, it's been a pleasure, Rebel. We'll
It's been a
see you
pleasure.
next time on more Open Division as we head out. See ya.
See you.